Hi, this is Al Manning, bringing you Adventures in Awareness from ESP Laboratory in Los Angeles. Our purpose at ESP Lab is to help you develop and harness your own psychic or extrasensory powers and apply them practically to make a better life for yourself and your family. The dove of peace is on the wing, bringing light and love and beauty. Will it come to you? Do you want it to? To attract it is your duty. Your thoughts are light. Do keep them bright, as a beacon for that dove. It's etheric, yes, but it's real no less. Let it bring you light and love. In my years of studying the psychic and extrasensory realms, I've become more and more impressed at how little mankind really knows about itself. Science progresses in spite of its little men, who ridicule new theories for years before they finally prove to be more nearly true than the accepted knowledge of the day. We haven't come very far from the time when the steamboat was referred to as Fulton's Folly, and our devoted parapsychologists still find their field being called a pseudoscience by the stuffy conservatives of the old scheme of things. To admit the reality of just one precognitive experience, or just one contact with the spirit of a person who has passed through the veil called death, throws the whole three-dimensional explanation of life into the trash can, along with the security patterns of the so-called conservative thinkers. Yes, there is much danger of ridicule for those who dare to explore the fringes of the unknown. Speaking personally for a moment, I've been called a kook lots of times, and undoubtedly will again. But I have the reassurance of looking into the aura of the taunter, in viewing the collection of thought forms and bits of mental garbage. Then, inside my own consciousness, I know which one of us is the kook. Where do you stack up in the scheme of open-mindedness? Are you one of the conservative impeders of progress who refuses to accept better because it isn't best? Or are you an adventurous pioneering type who is ready to reap the rewards of personal progress that come from daring to look beyond the status quo? Every generation has had its smattering of mystics and seers who pointed the way for anyone who would heed their enlightened words. But now we have arrived at a period of fresh opportunity. A whole new dimension of experience stands at the door of your consciousness and knocks. Do you have the courage to open your mind and let it in? Are you ready to embark on a personal adventure quite beyond the limits of the imagination of the stodgy thinkers of the three-dimensional world? You can quickly open your consciousness to see and experience thought forms, and thus prove the ancient metaphysical truth that thoughts are things. Then you can learn to build your own positive thought patterns of success, prosperity, popularity, and spiritual unfoldment, and breathe light and life into them to launch a new era of personal success and effectiveness. You can learn to examine your heart's desire and decide if it's really good for you, then polish it up, achieve it, and press on to greater achievements, whole levels of magnificence beyond. You can learn that you are already part of a functioning team, which includes many specialists and experts from the spirit realms. Then, as you begin to play as a conscious cooperating member of that team, you can watch the doorways of opportunity fly open to you, and that illusory thing called success becomes your pursuer instead of that which you chase. No, this is not to say that you can bring in a band of spirit beings to do your dirty dishes. We must still strive and earn our own way. But it is very like a person blind from birth. Suddenly, a new operation is discovered and performed on you. When the bandages are removed, and you begin to see for the first time, there is much to be learned. But your effectiveness is increased forevermore. Seek earnestly, and it is yours now. Opportunity knocks but once, then goes its fleeting way, or so we're told. But psychic and spiritual growth stand waiting now as they did of old. Don't hang back with the multitude. Dare venture out of the fold. Success and light and love flow freely, but not to those who are not bold. If you participated in our psychic exercise last week, you'll remember that we picked a number from 1 to 7, and I projected that number as we ended the program. Those of you who felt or heard or saw or just believed the number 2, you're absolutely right, and keep up your good work. And remember, where we're using 7 choices, if you're right more than once out of 7 weeks, then it's a good indication that you're nicely tuned in and that you're really ready to develop your ESP. Have a pencil and paper ready to write down our address so you can play with us this week, and we will have a new exercise at the end of this program. In darkness deep and quite alone, I waited, for I knew not what. The place was strange, to me unknown, but deep inside I knew my lot. Abruptly shined a shaft of light, engulfing me in brilliant gleam. A great voice lectured in the night, revealing much of God's own scheme. Though some may say 'tis best alone, the teaching came like drops of dew. You're never really on your own. The light is real. It's there with you. It's difficult to speak of the experience of the mystic light in words that convey anything like the feeling of awe and fulfillment, coupled with enthusiastic reverence and active peace that naturally comes to the sincere seeker. Fortunately, there are degrees of this wonderful experience, and there are variations in the practical usefulness of the living light that we contact at these special times. Since the manifestation of the mystic light is outside the normal objective experience of mankind, we feel it not only proper, but the most important single study of ESP Laboratory. In ancient and medieval times, we find many legends like the Philosopher's Stone, the search for the Holy Grail or the Golden Fleece, and the eternal quest for the lost word. The common denominator of this whole class of legends is the search for the power to do good, for what we might call a universal healing balm. The secret of finding it was said to be in a pure heart. In the language of today, we might say that this universal balm is the living light, which can be seen only by those who are crazy enough to put out the effort to look for it. One of its simplest manifestations is the phenomenon called aura. By experimenting with the basic night vision techniques of seeing things more or less out of the corner of your eye, you can quickly teach yourself to see the living light around your head, as well as learn to play with the strings of light that run between your fingers. You can easily see the types of thought patterns that brighten your aura, as well as the obvious fact that resentment, pessimism, and the like will make it very dull. As a matter of fact, the old saying about pulling in your horns fits there. You can see an aura really shrink when somebody feels attacked. Those of deeper interest can begin to control the flow of this living light to bring powerful healing energy to themselves or to any person or animal in need. The brighter and more powerful the light you send or apply, the quicker and more positive will be its results. Thus we literally see a sound basis for what we call spiritual healing, and we understand why we get good results across the continent, as well as with people sitting right in our healing chairs. We have personally witnessed instantaneous healings at ESP Lab, as well as many returns to vibrant health by a process more like gradual growth. But as miraculous and wonderful as the healing aspect may be, the deeper experience that transcends the physical body is more attractive to me. Perhaps that's why so many of us devote our time to the spiritual healing end, but others, more like me, I guess, because I go this way, I like to be free to pursue the subtler aspects of the living light also. In the Bible passages of the Song of Solomon, or in Walt Whitman's Song of Myself, we find the mystic experience described in allegorical terms like a sensual love affair. And it is certainly true that the highest ecstasy and fulfillment of your sexual nature is as a tiny taste of the joy to come from the oneness and completeness of blending with the living light in its personal response to your seeking. Then, far from detracting from your daily living or your normal lovemaking, you find it adds a whole new depth of meaning and universal love. Certainly this is the meaning of the Master Jesus' words, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, then all these things shall be added unto you." Still in that light, the voice spoke on. The light is real, and as you share, that deeper love is never gone. Like unto God, you too will care. For flower, tree, and bird on wing, in humans, grown or tiny child, forevermore your heart will sing, for God is with you all the while. Now, let's give you the address so that you can write us the results of the little psychic experiment we'll do together now, and also ask for our free literature and the information on the many courses and self-help tapes and other things that we have for you at ESP Laboratory. Write to me, Al Manning, care of ESP Laboratory, 7559 Santa Monica Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90046. I'll repeat that at the end of the program. Right now, let's talk about the exercise. As we leave the air, I will stop for about 3 minutes before leaving the studio and project the word, the feeling, the picture of one of the 7 colors of the rainbow this time, so there can be a nice color involved too. One of the colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, or violet. And what we want you to do is just relax for a minute during that same 3-minute period. You don't have to get up and rush anywhere. Just relax, close your eyes, and see what you see. Or see what you feel or hear. And when you do, then drop me a note so we can include you in our statistical analysis of what we do. We find that as people get interested in this work, the batting average goes way up, and our target, which should be hit by chance by about 16 and 2/3% of the people, will hit anywhere from 30 to 40, sometimes 50% of the people trying. So we have a lot of fun with this, and it's much more fun if you will participate. Remember, do tune in with us, and then drop me a note. Write Al Manning, ESP Laboratory, 7559 Santa Monica Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90046. I'll repeat that once more. Write Al Manning, 7559 Santa Monica Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90046. Now, remember, our 7 possible targets this week are the colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, or violet. And just as we close, I will spend the 3 minutes in projecting one of these. Again, it's been a great pleasure to be with you. I often wish these could be longer, and they can be in time if you respond to us that you like what we're doing and want to participate more in our programs. So much of progress always depends upon whether we are fulfilling a need for you. And certainly we look forward to hearing from you with your comments and suggestions, and particularly also with your answer to the projection that we'll do right now. One of the colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, or violet. Tune in with us as I start to project now, while we say simply goodbye for now and blessed be.